missed the entirety of last year thanks to an ACL. Then played AFLW. Here we go. Hardingham and Wales. The tap came to Carbone. And Nankrip ended up dropping the mark, one that she probably should have taken. Nanscoen already into the action, got it from Gaylor. And now they can try and move it, but the Bulldogs forge it away. But it came away from Bishop, and then the Bulldogs, the Dons go straight inside the 50 there, thanks to Bush. And it comes out to Crook. Gets it to Mailer. Back to Bishop. Smothered off the boot. It was really nicely done. Bush tries to go in there, as does Hardingham. And we'll get a ball in. Val Febo, my name today, taking you through the commentary and running solo this afternoon, so hopefully you don't get too sick of my voice towards the end of the game, but should be a really cracking contest between two pretty evenly matched clubs. Nanscoen again with another disposal, got it to Bush. And it'll get wrapped in again. Umpire doesn't blow the whistle, and I think he's going to have to now. Coming in for the Dogs, Neckrip, Hurst, Ramsey, Cowan and Henry. The Dons had 6. Nanscoen again inside 50. The dive came from Hartaluni. She couldn't get through. She's one of the inclusions this week. And they forge it over thanks to Jada Richardson. It came out Richardson again, looking to try and get the hands free, but she's tackled. And we'll get another stoppage, deep inside attack for the Bombers, who are kicking to the left of your screen. The Bulldogs to your right. The tap came over the top. Hartaluni tries to trap it. Carbone was taken without it. And the Bulldogs captain, the Rebel Team of the Year last year, she'll be the beneficiary and can try and propel this ball outside the defensive 50. For Essendon, Emily Goff and Georgia Nanscoen. Goff in her debut for the Rebel VFLW. Came to the Bombers AFLW squad via the Sandy Dragons, picked with pick 20 in the 2023 AFLW draft. That's a beautiful mark taken there by Cassidy Mailer. The kick only going to go as far as Goff, who got it out to Nanscoen and almost stripped of it, but she was so strong over the ball, put her head right over. Bush gets the quick kick away. Drew Ryan, the beneficiary of a clever little tap there from Jada Richardson inside the 50, looking for Hartaluni. And the mark taken by Stephanie Ashak, one of those generals down in the Bulldogs' defensive line. Ashley Snow. Kick towards half-back. Mark spilled by Tab, but the second effort was splendid. She kicks it forward. And a good lead up from Milford. The Dogs can have their first foray forward. Did she take a bit too long? No, the kick is all right. Solitis surveying her options. Sorry. Inside, and that's a almost mark taken by Tab. Ford doing really well. She's corralled by Tab. Put her teammate into immediate pressure in the form of Isabel Porter. So good lead-up work from the Bulldogs. Tab just couldn't take that mark. Nanscoen again getting a quick kick out, but this time it's going to come straight back in. Here's Skinner for the Dogs. Chaston corrals her, and the mark taken by Marley McLeod. So they might be able to send this one to the teeth of goal. McLeod, a short little chip kick. It's not going to get there. Running around her opponent is Solitis, who tried to get it off to Carbone. Runs around one. Ground pass of it, trying to get it to McClay. Dropping the ball there was Goff. Not paid. Milford. This is a really good run outside of the boot. Mark taken by Wales. Georgia Nanscoen already with 6 disposals. Last week, the leather poisoning went to Laura Gardner here at Whitten Oval, who had 47 for the Sydney Swans. And Georgia Nanscoen already in that sort of territory. Bush got it from her captain in Chaston. And they move it quickly. Goff to Chaston. Shrugs one beautifully. Almost tackled there, but got the kick away in the end. Hurst tried to get it through. The Dogs came barging through Bishop. And another stoppage. Still no score as of yet. 5.5 minutes gone in this opening term at Whitten Oval. Tap over the top. In there is Ramsey. Nothing coming of it. Essendon's other inclusions, apart from Goff and Nanskoen, Hartaluni, Morrow, Molan, the vice-captain, back in, and Marnie Robinson as well. High-pressure game so far, holding the man, and it's going to go the way of the Bombers. Mia Bush, who's also been pretty busy early. This is disposal number 4 for her coming up. Told to play on, got the kick away in between two Dogs. Essendon players fight over it. And we'll get another stoppage. Tanner Hurst not letting that one go anywhere. So, inside 50 count. 4-2 in favour of the Bombers so far. The Dogs are going to try and propel this one out. It's going to come to Hartaluni, who runs into traffic. Could be in trouble here. She's not. Interesting start to this game. The Dogs' forays forward have looked more purposeful, but Essendon have had it in their forward 50 more. Here's Bush, has time, has space, kicks towards goal. And the fickle bounce of the oval ball. Minor score. Essendon on the board. They take the early ascendancy in this game. The Dogs propel outside the defensive 50, but that is a brilliant mark from Wales, who was really good last week. She wheels around on the right. Off hands, Hartaluni. Around 1, around 2. The kick just didn't come off and then went straight over the head of Manfrey. A couple of bad bounces heading towards goal for the Bombers, but a throw-in nonetheless. Ball in. Tap down. Melnikas trying to barge through. Can't. It comes out. Does it? Holding the ball. Brilliant tackling from the Bulldogs. It was a good feature of theirs last week. Defended so grimly. Jamie Henry back into the team. It's it to her vice-captain in Courtney Ugle, the former Bomber, against her old side. And the kick, not great. And that lasso, without it being touched, means that Essendon are going to put it back inside their forward 50. And it's Amy Gaylor, Penley and Essendon Grammar School product, like myself, actually. She finds Melnikas. Kicked one of Essendon's goals last week inside the 50. A push there on Hartaluni. No, not paid. Maybe a bit of mayo on there. Klingbeil down there as well, holding the ball. Brilliant tackling, and it's, well, the superstar that is Georgia Nansko, and what a return this would be for the dual Lambert-Pearce medalist. 2021 and 2022. She's been an Olympian. She can do it all. Can she kick the goal? It's high, and it's touched on the line. Almost the perfect return to the Rebel VFLW for Georgia Nanskoen. Ugle. Quick kick to Skinner. He's good. A tough year last year for Nanskoen, who was so instrumental in Essendon's 2022 premiership. Milford has taken 2 sensational marks today, leading and presenting beautifully. The kick to a pack. It does fly, and coming out of it there is Molan. And the kick comes forward, but Ugle's going to be first there here for the Dogs. Skinner along the wing looking for Tab. Off hands, and Tab bursts her way through. Takes a bounce, and the kick just doesn't quite come off. It might bounce well here. It will. Cowan can't quite pick it up. And Essendon somehow, some way, find their way out of trouble. The kick from Tab just didn't really match the effort. She was so strong and powerful coming through. And Essendon purposefully move it out of their defensive line. Chaston, the captain. Switches play. Forward. Met by Ramsey. And she got it back in the end. Sensational mark from Davidge, who can push forward. Hartaluni, she has looked splendid so far today. Presenting beautifully and nice attack on the ball. Kicked inside the 50. Was there a push? Good body work from Snow. Milford with yet another mark. It's been all over the ground so far today. Imogen Milford. And Hartaluni spoils beautifully. Forward inside the 50. Can Essendon make good? The spoil came. Ooh, not sure about that decision. Manfrey's spoil looked to be good. Ashak to Carbone, the captain. Switches, but over the head of Hurst, and it's dangerous. Nanskoen runs through 1-2, gets the handball away, and now they can go towards goal. It's Davidge, gets a quick kick away. Didn't get enough purchase on it. So Essendon 8 inside 50s to 3 so far. Nanskoen with 7, Bush with 5 for the Dogs. Ashley Snow and Imogen Milford with 4. Milford leading the way on the ground with marks with 3. Tackles have gone to Bishop as well with 3. Get a ball in. Sock it away to Carbone's benefit, but the ball bounces away from her. Took a little while to pick it up, got the hand pass away, only as far as her enemy. Now they can move it out, hopefully there through Ashak, and they do. The mark dropped by Solitis. Dangerous. Gaylor inside towards goal. Punched over. So, another rush behind here. Three to 0. The Bulldogs. Similar pattern to last week. Sydney had the first few forays inside 50 and missed a lot. Came off Wales. And another ball up. Nanskoen again looking to be dangerous. Goes in. Was she taken high? Yep. She was. The little slip helped. And probably a kick and a half from home. Already been so busy. Nanskoen stabbing pass. Didn't really come off, and Carbone sends it back to whence it came. Solitis tried to tap it to her own advantage. It didn't work. And flying back with the flight, but not the beneficiary there, was Chloe Leonard. But a sensational mark from Jada Richardson. Great courage from both players. Richardson lines up. Didn't quite come off. And we'll get a ball in. 6 minutes to go in the opening term. No goals kicked as of yet. Essendon have done all the attacking so far, pretty much 9 inside 50s to 3, but the Bulldogs will like the fact that they haven't conceded just yet. Thrown in, Carbone so busy again. It's going nowhere. Well, high. Free kick paid to Keely Hardingham, who's the only Bulldog to feature in the coaches' votes for the Rebel VFLW last week in round 3. Looked for Ramsey, spoiled away by Drew Ryan. Carbone just can't quite pick it up. Manages to undo that, gets through one, got it to Skinner, who was under immediate pressure. And the Essendon tackling has just been sensational so far. Ryan inside 50. That is a brilliant kick, but the mark just doesn't quite come off to Davidge, who sold some candy, got the handball away just. Porter, beautifully done. And a solid mark taken from Manfrey. And they can go back and have another shot at goal. Distance shouldn't be a problem. About a 40-degree angle. Olivia Manfrey kicked 1 goal last week. 5 tackles as well in a brilliant pressure effort. High, up and under. And she's got it. First of the day goes to Olivia Manfrey of the Bombers. They lead at 1-3-9 to the Dogs yet to score. And it is reward for effort so far. Olivia Manfrey should be very pleased with that. Georgia Nanskoen leading all comers on the ground with 9 disposals. Sarah Ford with 6 for Essendon. Mia Bush with 6 as well for the Bulldogs. Dominique Carbone, she's had 6. Ashley Snow 5. Stephanie Ashak with 5 as well. The clearance winners on the ground. Ruby Marnie for the Dons with 2. Carbone with 2 herself as we head back to the middle. Essendon's pressure just well and truly on top at the moment, but they're only 9 points ahead, and that'll fill the Bulldogs with a little bit of glee, despite the fact that they just haven't been able to hit the scoreboard yet. Can that change? Bishop got it inside 50, and the pressure coming from a couple of Bulldogs there in Klingbeil and Solitis. Sorry, it was McClay, I should say, and Solitis. Hardingham got it down, but how good was Malnikas running through and reading the tap expertly? The kick just not coming off Milford. Tackled as she kicked, coming off hands. Hardingham had to get down pretty low, but she did well. Came to Klingbeil, who got it inside the 50, or towards the attacking 50. McLeod around the corner, off hands. Running through Milford to Bishop. She's tackled, but she got a kick away. Getting through Klingbeil, she was taken high, and she's going to get the free kick and try and give the Western Bulldogs the instant reply. Millie Klingbeil, 11 disposals last week for the 25-year-old. Another member of the Rebel Team of the Year last year. Sorry, this is Jamie Tabb, I should say, who kicks and puts it through. Jamie Tabb. Three goals in round 2 against Casey. Didn't hit the scoreboard last week. But she's back on board, and they do get that instant reply within 2 minutes of quarter time. Back up we go. Hardingham got it down, and the Bulldogs again out of the middle. Clearance work has been good. That is as blatant throw as you'll see, not seen by the umpire. And Essendon can move it forward. Mark dropped, but Malnikas gets it out to Gaylor. On the left, that's nice. They can move it inside. Richardson did well with the body, but the problem is no one was there to help her and go get the ball. Hartaluni's kick was definitely to the advantage, but now they can go here, the Dogs, and try and move it, but 45 seconds to go in the quarter. Milford flies from the back, can't take the mark, and goes out of play. Gaylor scoots it over. So the goal kickers so far, Olivia Manfrey for Essendon, Jamie Tabb for the Bulldogs. Her 4th of the year. And it came out. Gaylor can't take the mark. She paddles it to her own advantage. Can't quite pick it up. Corralled by Cowan. Malnikas. Got 6 seconds to try and avoid trouble here holding the ball. They do get the advantage, and it's a shame because the run looked good. But that is the quarter-time siren, and it's the Western Bulldogs who kick the final goal as an instant reply to Essendon's dominance. But the Bombers lead. One, and going to be kicking to the right of your screen. The Bulldogs, they're going to be kicking to the left. 3 points the difference. After quarter time last week, Essendon didn't concede a goal to Darebin. They went down early, but it was a real four-quarter effort as Hardingham goes bang inside the 50. Milford, it was on her chest, but she couldn't quite take the mark. Comes back to Milford. Handball not so good to McLeod, who has to go and fetch it, but I think she'll keep it in. Having said that, the umpire, he's got other ideas. It's that Robinson, who laid that tackle. Bateman. Kick not so good. Bishop has been busy. Set up their opening goal last week with a brilliant individual effort. That one, well, it's going to come back to Bateman, who can have a second chance. Porter. Changes direction. A nice little spoil there. Came from Maylor. Did really well to avoid the tackle. Got it to Snow, who kicks inboard nicely. And the mark taken again by Bishop, who can send them inside 50 once again. Does so. And the mark spilled. That's dangerous here. Ford couldn't really do much, but Nanskawin came to the rescue. And Bishop once again will send it inside 50. Third time lucky, perhaps. Looking for her captain, and she finds her. Dom Carbone to put the Bulldogs possibly in front. The distance may be an issue. Will she send it to the teeth of goal instead? Off hands. Almost in the grasp of Isadora McClay. Dom Carbone fights so hard, had a lot of the ball last week. Really that spiritual leader of the Western Bulldogs outfit. Kick comes to Davidge, who's propping and just surveying her options. She trickles through everybody. A bit of a leg break there. However, it did come out. But Carbone is going to send them inside 50 again. So this is exactly what the Bulldogs want. Sustained pressure from the Bombers early on. Over the head of Milford. Dropping the mark was Porter. Didn't really expect it to come to her, but Milford really jumping in there and doing nicely. They're going to get a free kick here, the Bulldogs, and another opportunity. Already 4 inside 50s this quarter for the Bulldogs to Essendon 0. Only played 3 minutes. And Imogen Milford. This would be a brilliant start to the term. She's been lively early in this game. You could hear it early. They said, get around her. And they all do. Dogs in front. Her first goal in her new colours. And Imogen Milford put some icing on a brilliant start to the second term for the Bulldogs. They get their opener. They lead at 2-1-13. Essendon 1-3-9. Essendon haven't even looked like scoring in this quarter so far. Dom Carbone already with 3 disposals in this term. Make it 4. Got it out to Bishop, who's also been very busy. Having said that, went to Chaston. Nanskawin wants to do it herself. Got it out somehow. Bishop ends up collecting it. Goes out to Snow, who's found a little bit of space. Her kick looks for Ramsey. Manages to trap it and does well. Back to Snow, got the 1-2. And the kick along the line. Ended up wanting Cowan. Milford had it, lost it again, lost it again. Nanscowen. Ford. Porter. High kick. Good body work from Richardson. But the backup effort there from Tanner Hurst was pretty good to get the ball and keep it in. Good pressure from the Western Bulldogs, who have been pressing, haven't conceded an inside 50 yet this term. Came over from Hardingham. Nanscowen once again. They can't quite keep it there. Ford was trying hard, but the Bulldogs can move it forward. Bishop with another disposal in this quarter. Tab traps it to perfection. The smother was even better there from Porter. Tab soccers it off the ground. And now the Bulldogs with an opportunity. The kick ends up coming from Ramsey. It's going to treacle, and it's not going to get there. So the Dogs pressing hard. 2-2-14, 1-3-9. This game has gone up another notch. Really enjoyable one to watch so far. It's Rebel VFLW. Great mark. Taken at the back there by Robinson. Goes to Chaston. Just stops and props. Surveys the options. Takes a bounce as well. The kick stabbed forward. Ashley Snow takes the intercept mark, and they're just full of run this term, the Bulldogs. Brilliantly done from Imogen Milford. She plays on and goes towards the attacking 50. Tab uses her body well, gets the handball away. Solitis, another one to the Bulldogs. They're all over them at the moment. 3 in a row. And all of a sudden the lead is out to 11. They have a little buffer. Something that they haven't been able to do much of at Whitten Oval this year, and that's be in front. It was very early against North Melbourne in their opening game. But then North Melbourne kicked a couple of goals late in the first term, and the Dogs were never in front after that. And Sydney are ahead for most of the game. But Renee Solitis with yet another goal in what is becoming a brilliant season so far. Back up in the middle. Skinner tried to go in, and they dive on top. Jamie Henry ensures that that is going nowhere. And, well, holding the ball. So the tackling pressure from the Bulldogs is really lifted. Ramsey has someone short. And someone was Hardingham who couldn't quite get the ball. But the pressure, the second effort from Skinner, really good. Essendon want a high tackle. They don't get it. Mia Bush almost looked like she was in a little bit of bother. The kick comes quickly towards the attacking 50 for the Dogs. Solitis is there, as is Tab. Solitis paddles it to her own advantage, but the ball slips out of play. So, another ball in. Bulldogs, they've been splendid so far. Great to see Imogen Milford kick her first goal in her new colours in her fourth game for the Bulldogs. Netkrip and Chaston go at it. Spills out. Malnika's so strong, stripped of the ball, nothing paid. Gaylor kicks it towards the attacking 50, somewhere they haven't been yet this quarter, Essendon. They might get one in now, and they could. Manfrey goes towards goal. She was 50 out. She's going to hope for the bounce. Ugle will get there pretty quickly. Hartaluni's going to join her for company, but Ugle manages to propel it away. Mailer on the Gordon Street side, the Doug Hawkins wing side. They can propel, and it's Milford again. Well, her hands have been as strong as anything this morning. And the intensity just ramping up from the Bulldogs. Cowan, her strong grab as well. Inside the 50, dropping into the hole nicely. It's Marnie. Ruby Marnie. The kick is really good. Orrit surveys her options to her captain in Chaston. Goes to Porter. Some purposeful ball use here from the Bombers. The spoil came really nicely there, and the Dogs wrap it in again. Jamie Henry doing brilliantly. Nothing that Gaylor could do. Disposal winners on the ground. Nanskowen 13, Carbone 11 for the Bulldogs. Nanskowen goes in hard again. We expect nothing less from her. And ensures that that ball doesn't come out. Halfway done in this second term, 9 minutes to go. The Bulldogs have had it all their own way. Feels like a scoring end, even though there's no breeze to speak of today. To the left of your screen. Just one goal kick to the right. Could change very quickly, though. Drew Ryan, her 21st birthday it was on Thursday. A win would be a great present for her. Milford slips over. Hasn't quite gotten up yet. Hopefully she's okay. Ford got it to Melnikas. That kick cut off by McClay. Milford is back up. She's okay. Isadora McClay sends it inside the 50. Milford's going to go from behind, but it's going to be a Bulldogs free kick. No, it's going the way of the Bombers. I'm not sure why. It felt like an unrealistic attempt to Ford. No matter, because the Bulldogs are probably going to send it back in. Just couldn't take the mark. Jamie Henry really imposing herself. Back in this week, Henry. Swan Districts in Perth. Thudded away from McClay to Carbone. They paid a throw. Scooped out, apparently. Nanskowen. She's going to benefit. Another disposal for her incoming. 12.5 gone, 7.5 left in this term. Skinner did really well. Got it to Carbone. Oh, in the back was paid. Advantage also paid. And that kick, Milford can't quite take the mark. Marley McLeod can't run onto it. Molan got it away to Ford. Essendon will try and run, but the handball not good to Nanskowen, who made it look good. To the other Ford. To Ford again. And that kick kept in. Nanskowen did so well to try and paddle that, and then ensures that Crook goes nowhere. So Essendon, even when they try and get it forward, the pressure has just ramped up. The inside 50 count, all of a sudden 16-13 to the Bulldogs. 11-1 this quarter. Chaston over the top. Davidge back to Chaston. The captain, can she manufacture something? She can. Richardson snaps on the left. Much needed goal to Essendon. Brilliant individual effort from Eloise Chaston. And then an even better one from Jada Richardson, who gets the Bombers back within striking distance. 5-point ball game. 3-2-20 to 2-3-15. Essendon's second foray inside 50 this quarter after 14 minutes results in a goal. And for all the Bulldogs' dominance, it's only 5 points. Having said that, Essendon's dominance in the first quarter could have had them much further ahead as well. So this one shaping up to be a cracker here on a beautiful Saturday morning at Whitten Oval. not too cold in Melbourne. It's been pretty chilly this week, but the weather has turned up for this game. Carbone trying to get it to Macleay. High, and it's going to Morrow, who tries to look for Nanscoen, but trapping it nicely. There it was Ramsey. But Essendon, maybe that's the little momentum spark that they needed. The Dogs were up by 11 before that last goal. The kick came out from Hurst, went under Sarah Ford's hands. Goff, just the poise there from Emily Goff on her VFLW debut. Finds Davidge inside 50 now. They go. Came off Harder-Looney's leg there. Almost a mark. But Essendon will wrap it up with yet another inside 50. So they've lifted now, the Bombers. That goal has sparked some life into this contest. There's a block, I believe, and it's going to the Bombers. And it's Jada Richardson once again. Kicked a goal last week as well. Only had 5 for the game. It was a wet Saturday out at the hangar. Darebin's ground's unavailable, so Essendon kind of got an away game. Well, they got an away game at home, which definitely helped. But Jada Richardson, from 9 disposals last week, kicked that solitary goal. She's already got 1 today. This one stays out to the left. Essendon edge that little bit closer. 2-4-16, the Bombers. The Dogs, the home team. 3-2-20. The kick out is going to spill. Nanscoen did so well. Got a hand pass away. Bursting through Richardson. Bush got a quick kick out of the pack and congestion. Nanscoen ran onto it. Spilled out yet again. Leonard did well. Snow finds Ramsey. Back pocket. 3 minutes to go in this second quarter. The high kick comes to Milford. Goff stripped it from her. Got it to Chaston. Trying to use their power. Rucks nominate. Skinner. Kicks forward. Looking for Tab. Nothing coming of it. Molan, the vice-captain, back in this week. The kick to Nanscoen. Well, again, she just makes everything look good. And she got it out. They can propel it forward again. Essendon. Harter-Looney. So creative. Inside. Oh, the mark spilled by Manfrey. It could still come out. Sarah Ford towards goal. Crook dropped it. Still had enough space. The kick, however, is it going to be a lasso? Yes, it is. We're going back inside 50 here, Essendon, or not quite yet. Chaston has looked to run around a couple of players today. Let's see what happens here. The quick kick forward. Well, that's perfect vision. And Mia Bush will try and push this one towards goal. Harder-Looney makes a quick lead. A few players lead here. Probably a kick and a half from home. The kick is good. The mark's spilled. Harder-Looney does well. Equally as well, there was Mailer, but she was met by Nanscoen, who is just having a wonderful day out. She's had 2 clearances to go with her game-leading 19 disposals so far. A minute and 5 seconds to go in this second term. Can Essendon snag a late one and get in front, or can the Bulldogs try and force one forward and capitalise on the dominance that they've had? Ugle got it out. Solitis couldn't quite take the mark, used the body well, but the problem was Essendon had numbers there. Chaston got the tap forward, went to Drew Ryan. She was taken without it. And the Bulldogs are going to have to build a wall down defensively here. Ryan. They wanted 50 there. Umpire tells her to get back on her mark. Inside 50 there, Drew Ryan. Spills to ground. The Dogs just clear it and send it as far as possible. McClay had it spilled. They pay the mark and they move it on. Oh, umpire calls it back. 17 seconds. The Bulldogs wanted the advantage, so they're not too pleased. And I reckon that might be the end of the quarter. They'll try and move it as quickly as they can. Skinner goes towards the attacking 50. It spills through Milford's hands, and that should be it for the half. It will be, although it almost came unstuck, but the Western Bulldogs, after being dominated in the opening term, flex their muscle in the second quarter to take a 4-point lead into the main change. They were absolutely brilliant. Milford for the Bulldogs, Jada Richardson and Olivia Manfrey for Essendon. Nanskoen, Georgia Nanskoen, the two-time Lambert Pearce medalist, leading the disposal count with 19 in her return to VFLW action as we get underway in the third quarter. Mia Bush has had 12, Sarah Ford 11 for Essendon. Dom Carbone 12 for the Bulldogs, Snow and Bishop with 10 apiece. Free kick going the way of Essendon. They're kicking to the left of your screen in this third term. And a 50-metre penalty. They're going to get the first entry forward here. And it's Tia Davidge. Probably be a shot at goal to put the Bombers back in front. What a start it would be. Off hands. And through for a rush behind. The kick was very accurate. But Essendon moved to within 3. I think it was encroaching the protected area there, that 50. No harm done completely by the Bulldogs, or for the Bulldogs. Snow. Looking for Henry. Brings it to ground with Davidge. Really interesting contest so far. Set up for what should be a really close finish. Thrown in. The tap came. And Malnikas got it down and went and got it again herself. She's going to get a third disposal here in this little play. She gets it out. So does Nanskoen. Goff on debut. Overruns it. And it's going to come to Mailer, who can't quite pick it up. Was really careful in the tackle. Did well not to go too high. And the Dogs, well, it's a free kick to the Bombers for a push in the back against Carbone. Molan, the vice-captain. Malnikas played on, didn't really know what was coming. Goff just lucky enough to get a kick away. And the Bulldogs with a quick kick forward, but it's going to come back to Molan. Short, purposeful kick looking for Nanskoen, who's met grimly by Nakrip. And the kick from Gaylor towards the attacking 50 only goes as far as Snow. Leonard has had a quiet day, and the kick wasn't good. The intercept comes. Marnie tackled and met by Ashak. And it was a goal-saving tackle from Stephanie Ashak. The kick from Leonard just too high. Hardingham got it down. And Ashak, who kept them in it. Oh, she's in big trouble, but she evades the tackle. She's laying them and evading them. McClay got the ball down. Cowan over the head of McLeod. Davidge bumped off it. Carbone tries to burst her way through. She does so. Gets it to Bishop. Goff shrugs one on debut. What a start for her in her first game for the VFLW. The kick, not so good. And taken down without it was Hardingham. She'll go backwards to Snow, who's had a bit of it in this game. Really come into the game well. And they've switched it out wide. Emmeline Nekrip. The kick beats both Goff and Solitis to the boundary, and Goff is going to be the beneficiary. Last touch. Right on the Doug Hawkins wing. Famous piece of turf in footy. Hardingham with a good mark. She's been instrumental for the Bulldogs in 2024. Skinner. Solitis uses her body well. Going to get a handball away to Bishop, who went without it. Marnie to Goff. Carbone does well to affect the spoil. Just kicked it as high and as far as she could, and Molan with her second intercept mark of the quarter. Purposeful pass to Nanskoen, Essendon's very first AFLW player. And that kick is exactly why. Hit Bateman up beautifully. Bateman's kick only found Ugle, who knew the danger was coming in the form of Manfrey. She stayed put and held her ground and did well. And the Dogs with a quick overlap run here. Bishop, oh, the bounce was cruel, really cruel. And she only paddled it as far as Molan to Nanskoen. Nanskoen to Gaylor, and Gaylor can move it. Oh, no, she overruns it as well. It's been a fickle bouncing ball today. And they can try and get it out. It's only going to go as far as Skinner. And the Bulldogs keep it on the wing. No goals kicked as of yet in the third term. We've got 14 minutes to go. Davidge going to try and run onto it, but she's beautifully met by Snow in a really good bumping collision there. Chaston. Handball to Ford. Ford's going to get met by Crook, but got the kick away in time. Morrow towards the teeth of goal. Ashak again with his splendid defensive effort. To Crook. Pinging in between the arcs here. Snow. Solitis, one of the goal kickers today. Cowan. Milford, been instrumental for the Bulldogs in the first half. Tab did so well, gets the handball to Mailer. Mailer inside 50. The kick not so great. And doing really well was Bateman. But Tab, the second effort was exemplary. And really kept it in. Exquisite from Jamie Tab, but ended up getting out. Melnikis. And the kick there was very good from Wales. It's been good in the ruck today. Morrow and Wales doing a wonderful job. That was brilliantly done there from Davidge, who's had a really busy term. Great kick to Jada Richardson. On the wrong side for her left footer, but she's been dangerous. 1 goal, 1 today already. And this to possibly put the Bombers back in front. For a second goal today. Well, she set it up. And the Dogs just caught napping, and Ashley Melnikis will go back and look for her first. 62 games for the 29-year-old at her third VFLW club. And that just came off the side of the boot there from Melnikis. And might see that go out for a throw-in. That's one that she would rather have back, you would assume. 8.5 minutes gone. Margin still 3. The Bulldogs holding on. Been a really open quarter. Just the 5 goals kicked in this contest so far. Melnikis against Milford, the 264s. Milford ensures that that's going nowhere. There, the hit-outs on the ground so far. Stephanie Wales and Jamie Lee Morrow, 11 and 10 respectively. Hardingham 9. She's had a really tough day. They put a lot of work into Keely Hardingham. Skinner is going to have to wait for the bounce. The problem is Essendon have numbers. Manfrey's there. Courtney Ugle as well. Against her former team. Got the handball away to Ramsey, who couldn't quite get the kick off. And Sarah Ford just trying to disguise that when she clearly ran out. I love when the small forwards try and disguise a few things here and there. Bursting through Malnikas. Richardson tackled towards the boundary line. She got the handball away, so definitely not holding the ball. That could be. Boundary line saving the Bulldogs. Essendon have had all the play pretty much in this third term. The left of screen seems to be the scoring end, or the end where the ball has been for the most part of this game. Running through Ashak, can't control it. And another stoppage. So the Dogs, there was a shot from Tia Davidge that was punched over the line. They were caught napping when Malnikas took the mark, but they were lucky that she shanked the kick. Can they hold on for even longer or go up the other end? Thudded over the top from Mailer. And the kick, well, that's just in hope, really. Sits up really nicely. And now they can try and get it forward. But Essendon's pressure, just frenetic. Free kick paid, I think, for too high. Carbone fuming with the decision. Massive sigh and eye roll. Malnikas right to the teeth of goal. And a saving mark from Crook. Mailer looking to get it moving quickly, but the kick not great. Henry did well to get the spoil. And Essendon, they can just try and force it through. Ashak taken high. They've got numbers out wide here. Nekrip is there. Should they see her? She's screaming for it, and Ugle finally obliges. Now she can run here. Emmeline Nekrip. The kick good to McLeod. They've got it to the wing now, the Bulldogs. The kick to the outnumber. Not great, but it's going to come off. Nekrip again. Looking for Solitis. McLeod. Over the top handball. Not great. Amani dives in. But the Dogs have managed to get it to half forward. They haven't had it there much this quarter. 8 minutes to go in this third term. Not a goal kicked as of yet. This game has really gone up a notch. The pressure is sensational. Both teams want to win this and want to register their second victory of 2024. Mark not paid, not 15. Marnie gets it out. Gaylor. Now they can try and move it. Bush met heavily by Mailer, and that's not going anywhere. The tap came, and Carbone met with a high tackle. The two captains going at it. Chaston losing out that time. Dom Carbone. Really important kick. The lead comes, and it's a good one at that too. Cowan goes to the teeth of goal. Another lead inside 50. Tab. Handball away. Skinner. Did it bounce through? I think it did. The Dogs out of nowhere against the play. Pinch the goal. It was exquisite bodywork on the line. I think it was from Marley McLeod. And the Dogs regain their little buffer. It's 9 points. And the Dogs staff on the bench. Marley, great team play. It was her bodywork. And for once today, the bouncers work for the Bulldogs. Just their third inside 50 this quarter. Essendon have had 7. And the Dogs register the goal. It comes to Carbone. They might have a bit of life here, the Bulldogs. Spilling the mark was Marnie. Arches the back. That kick not great, and it's kicked to an outnumber, and it's gone into scrimmage in the corridor. Carbone. Handball didn't quite come off. Oritz, just a high ball in hope. Looking for Manfrey. Manfrey paddles, needs to get a handball away. She does. It's Nanskowen, who's got Snow for company. She's had a great quarter, Ashley Snow. Punched away. Crook towards the boundary line. Essendon down by 11 in the second quarter, got the reply to get it to within a kick, and they had a couple of opportunities to go in front in this term. Goals have been hard to come by, just 6 kicked so far. Throw in. Morrow got it down. Gaylor doing really well to overrun Carbone to the ball. And handballed straight back into trouble. Morrow somehow got it out. Great tackle from Bush. Has to be holding the ball, not paid. Nanskowen ensures that goes nowhere. The former captain. So the game is set up beautifully. The Bulldogs haven't won at home yet this year. Losses to North Melbourne and Sydney. Essendon a draw with Williamstown and a win last week at home, but it was an away game to Darebin, or against Darebin. Skittles through the pack there. Inside 50 from Morrow. The soccer off the ground, not great. Orrit is going to run onto it. She'll get it back to her captain in Chaston. Just had to get the kick away. She did. Only as far as Ugle. To Solitis. 3.5 minutes. That kick from Solitis, well, went luckily for Neckrip, who got the handball away, but only as far as Porter. Running through is McClay. Got it back to Solitis, who's met strongly. Brilliant tackle from Mia Bush. Hardingham got the hit out. Not 15, and we'll get a throw in. 3 minutes to go in this third term. Essendon would dearly love a goal. 1 in the first, 1 in the second. And they had their chances as well. They've had more scoring shots. Plus a couple of shanks as well. Gaylor got it out. Hartaluni and Ugle, they're going to go for it. Brilliant tackle from Hartaluni, but Ugle equal to the challenge. Skinner, who kicked that last goal, she's met by Bush. Bush with her 7th tackle of the day. Equal leader on the ground with Nanskowen. They've had it in their forward half for the majority of this quarter, Essendon. They wouldn't be too pleased the fact that they're the only ones that have conceded. Gaylor inside the 50. Manfrey couldn't take the mark. She might still get it though. She does. She snaps and pulls it. Ball in. 2 minutes to go in quarter number 3 here at Whitten Oval. The Bulldogs, they've had less scoring shots, less inside 50s. Less possessions, but it's what you do with them. And it's what they've done with them all day. Hurst couldn't quite trap it. The kick did come out anyway for the Bulldogs. Ford in the Madison Ford variety. There's also Sarah. The Dogs defending for their lives. Thudded by Morrow. Skinner did beautifully to get it out. Ramsey equally as good. Got it to Henry, to Ugle, almost met by Manfrey. She runs around a couple. Gaylor inside the 50. Nanskowen is down there. Crook is going to have to do a lot of work here. That could be deliberate. Disguised it well enough. When you've got Georgia Nanskowen breathing down your neck, certainly not easy. 45 seconds for the Bulldogs to hold on here. Essendon would dearly love one right on the death of three-quarter time. The thud came. Orrit ensures that it goes nowhere, and they'll keep it right on their 50. "20 seconds left in quarter number 3. The kick didn't quite come out. The Bulldogs just have everyone around the ball. 7 seconds to manufacture something. The siren, I think, will beat them to it. And they will. So that'll be it for the third quarter. All the dominance was Essendon's, but the only goal was kicked by Sarah Skinner. And it was some splendid bodywork from Marley McLeod. And 1-1-1. We're underway. 20 minutes of action left here at Whitten Oval. The tap came from Wales. The Dogs to your left of screen, Essendon to your right. Bursting through Molan. Got it to Nanskowen. Got it to Wales. Inside 50. Over the top of Ugle. Davidge trying to punch it away. They burst through. Nothing coming of it. Goff has been put forward. The debutante. Can she create something? Picked 20 in last year's draft. Tap Chaston, the captain. Got it out. Henry taken down. Too high. Sorry, that was Chloe Leonard, I should say. Leonard's kick, not great to Snow. And that's dangerous. The Bombers will get a stoppage. Inside 50. The Dogs were happy to get that free kick, but it's what you do with it. It'd be pretty nervy. Haven't had a win at home yet this season, as I said before. The ball in comes. Morrow got it down. Goff might be first to it. Chaston might get there as well. She does. Wheels around the corner. The bounce favouring the Bombers, but a brilliant tackle from Courtney Ugle in the goal square. The bodywork from Chaston so good. But the kick came out of the ruck and it was Goff in the end. Another behind for the Bombers. And Goff already proving fruitful, the 19-year-old. Swap of the magnets from Cherie O'Neill. And the pressure already from Essendon coming through. They've had, as I said, more scoring shots here. 8-6. But the Bulldogs have just been that little bit more accurate. It looks like we're set for a grandstand finish. Came down and Gaylor got it out. Here is Goff, the debutante. Was it touched? They're celebrating. And the number 1 has her first goal in the red and black. An inspired coaching move to put her down there. And after going goalless in the third term, Essendon draw first blood in the final. 3-6-24 the Bombers. The Dogs holding a slender lead, 4-26. 2 points is the buffer. And it's exactly the start that Essendon wanted. And Courtney Ugle thought she touched it. get another ball up. Bursting through, there was Marnie. Nanskoen, they can go in again here, the Bombers. Was it a push? Not paid. Robinson! Just misses. In her third game, Marnie Robinson back in this week after playing for the under-18 All-Stars last weekend. The Bulldogs trying to repel it. It's just stayed inside that forward 50 for the Bombers this entire quarter, but the Dogs will get an opportunity to get rid of it. And it's Ramsey at the moment. The margin is 1.37 Essendon, 4-2. The Bulldogs leading at 26-25. And it goes to Hardingham, who's battled hard today. But Essendon with two talls in the team in Morrow and Wales. It's really negated the influence that Hardingham has had. She was so good last week in a heavy defeat at the hands of Sydney. Carbone, the captain, what can she muster up this quarter? Again, the leading disposal winner for the Bulldogs. It's their best passing play today. Hardingham now goes long, and as I say that, kicks it straight to her opposing ruckman, or ruckwoman in Stephanie Wales. Ford. To Goff, who's been so exciting and prolific this quarter. Got the handball away in the end. Carbone. Can't get it out. Essendon have already had a draw this season against Williamstown. Could it happen again? Possibly. They're only a point behind. The kick from Carbone. Or she wanted Bishop. Bishop tried to lay the bodywork, but it didn't work. Instead, here's Marnie, who will go inside 50 for Essendon. Goff is there. So is Hurst. Meeting it is Crook. Runs away from Goff. And kicks to the Doug Hawkins wing. Solitis is going to have to go. She does. Mailer. To Cowan. Cowan towards the attacking 50. And Milford, as she has done all day, providing a safe pair of hands. Skinner, who kicked their last goal in that third term, the unlikely one, just blazed away too quickly. And the saving mark taken by Ford. Stays on the outer side. Molan. Inboard pass, Melnikas. And they go up the middle. Well, that kick not good. Jamie Tabb cuts it off. 13 minutes on the clock for both teams to try and manufacture something. Tabb inside 50. Mark couldn't come. And now Essendon can try and run it out again. It was risky, but Melnikas will be the beneficiary here, and she gets it out to Marnie, who's been pretty exciting this quarter. Snow almost in trouble. Neckrip back in the team this week. Solitis is going to have to meet it. Probably could have gone in a little harder. Didn't do so. Gaylor does well. And the kick, I think... Oh, Jamie Tabb ended up getting there. Could it have been a lasso? So we'll get a ball in. 12 minutes on the clock. 1 point the difference. The Bulldogs want to improve on last year's performance. Holding, free kick. And it's going the way of Essendon, I believe. Bush. It's had a stagnated second half. Goes to Molan, who runs around her opponent in Skinner. And goes towards the attacking 50. Goff paddled it to her own advantage. Isadora McClay gets involved. And we'll get it balled up. The only goal kick this quarter, Emily Goff on debut. Doing nicely there was Henry. Got it out. And Klingbeil, who's had a quiet afternoon. Marnie, she's done a lot today. Henry did really well to try and intercept the handball. Chasten's in there for the Dons. Skinner at the bottom of it all. And we're going to get another stoppage. Half forward for the Bombers, who are kicking to the right of your screen. Looking for back-to-back wins in 2024. The kick came away. Dropping it was Bush. Melnikis goes in, wrestles it away from McLeod. Isadora McClay pretty much just hopped on the back of Melnikis and ensured that that wasn't going anywhere. It's a little piggyback, reminiscent of Paddy Cripps and Tom Papley a few years ago. Marnie arches the back, does so well, gets around 2. 3 was probably a bit too many, but she did well. The kick from Melnikis only goes as far as Hurst, who says, let's settle things down. Halfway through the final term. Carbone using the body well to allow Henry to take the mark. And Henry says, well, you helped me, so I'm going to help you get another possession. The captain along the wing. Mark not taken, but the thud away from Hardingham was very good. Here's Milford. McClay's there in a one-on-one. Can she take the mark? She can! Keely Hardingham, take a bow. Paddled it forward. And allowed them to get it in quickly. Isadora McClay didn't kick a goal last week after kicking 2 against Casey. She sprayed it. And what would have been a huge goal for the Western Bulldogs keeps Essendon in it. Under 9 minutes to go. Chasten. Oh, Carbone almost spoiled it. She did. She'll benefit. She'll get the handball away. McLeod is there. So is Salida. She's met heavily. Carbone goes in to try and mop up her own work. Sophie Molan, the experienced head. Vice captain. Former Dog as well. 5 games for them in 2019, 5 years ago. And a free kick, I believe. It's going the way of Chasten. So what can the captain do? They've had a pretty good day. In a bit of trouble here. Chasten, Marley McLeod not holding the ball somehow. Another tackle comes. That was absurd. Just might have got a handball away. But the umpire said play on. The Dogs fans wanted holding the ball. The kick came. No 15 anyway. Milford couldn't take the mark. Molan affected the spoil and she'll get it back. The vice-captain under immediate pressure from Salidis. The handball, not great. Put her teammate under enormous pressure. And the Bulldogs lifting. Some of the AFLW listed players on the bench clapping each and every move. Mark taken by Wales from the quick kick out. She does nicely. Melnikis. Can Essendon propel this up the other end? 50 metres. Against Carbone, who is fuming. Protected area. And Melnikas will have a chance. She had a shot in the third quarter and shanked it to the right. This to put Essendon in front for the first time since the second quarter. First one to the right that didn't make the distance. Second to the left and a behind. It's 1 point in favour of the Bulldogs. 4-3-27. 3-8-26 Essendon. Very lucky from the Bulldogs, especially after the Macleay miss. Tab through the middle of Whitten Oval. McLeod, who with an inspired forward defensive effort before, got the kick away. Ramsey, the ball bounces away from her. Drew Ryan got it to Chaston. Chaston ran around 1-2. The high looping handball went to Morrow, and Morrow did beautifully to Nanskoen, who wants to get it moving quickly. There's just over 5 minutes for Essendon, and a brilliant defensive mark taken. The Dogs can now move it themselves. Skinner to Cowan, who steadies. Macleay will have to fly. She does, and takes a brilliant mark. Imposing figure up forward this term. She's got a one-on-one inside 50. She sees it. And the mark has been taken. Renee Solitis will go back and take her time. Kicked their first today. It's been such a presence up forward this season. Kicked a goal in every game. She's kicked 5 this season for the Bulldogs. It was touched on the line. It doesn't get there. It was online, but touched and kept back in. This game has had everything. Think about that's the third or fourth that's looked good and just stopped from going through. And with under 4 minutes to play, it's still a 1 point ball game. That could have been it. Wrapped up on the wing. The Bulldogs. 0 from 2 so far at Whitten Oval in 2024. Can they get there first? It's a high tackle. Mia Bush will send it forward again for Essendon. The good tackle coming from the Dogs. But Essendon still force it forward. The mark spilled by Richardson. Davidge got the handball away. Hardingham is there. And it'll be wrapped up. Under 3 to go. Thudded from Wales. Gaylor got the handball forward. Richardson there. They dive on their opponent. The Bulldogs are going to try and halt this as much as they possibly can. The hit out came from the Bombers. It went to Ugle. And the Dogs just clear it as far and as long as they can. Individual brilliance required. Chaston got the handball to Ryan. And Ryan's kick only as far as Skinner. Skinner went forward. Bishop is there for the Dogs. But the Bombers wrap it in. 2 minutes to go. The Dogs, by the slenderest of margins, just the 1 point. Haven't kicked a goal yet this quarter. Klingbeil got it forward. Mark taken for the Bombers, intercepting. There was Porter. They're going to have to move it quick. High and long as far as possible. Mark not paid. Tab goes forward. Essendon have numbers. Milford can't take the mark. Running onto it is Solitis. Any goal you think will do. Solitis got it forward. Running forward is Bishop. She'll hope for the boundary line. It won't get there. She did really well. Ellie Bishop sprayed it and went out on the full. 1 minute and 10 seconds for Essendon to get it up the other end. They trail by 1 point. It's in the hands of the captain, Eloise Shaston, who goes with a huge barrel. But the kick is marked. It's intercepted. And Jamie Tabb will take all the time off the clock that she needs. Couple of brain fades in this quarter from Chaston. And Jamie Tabb can seal it. If she doesn't kick the goal, Essendon will have one last opportunity. It's high. It's spoiled back in. And it's touched. It's off hands. It's a minor score. 18 seconds for Essendon to get it up the other end. They run it through the middle of Whitten Oval. The kick is shanked. They need some individual brilliance. It comes through. Porter, kick forward. They need a clean possession. They get it. They've got 3 seconds to try and get a mark. It goes forward. The siren beats them. And the Bulldogs hold on in an epic at Whitten Oval. Another 5 seconds. You'd think Essendon might have been in. But a brilliant display and some plucky defence from the Western Bulldogs holds off.